Here we go.
You're tuning in to Will Love Listen. Now listen.
Helena Hathor, thank you for joining me today. We just encountered some retrograde technology glitches, but now we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we're on track. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you joined me. So originally I worked in radio for like 8, 9 years, and then I started the podcast. And when I started the podcast, I originally was just having on like musicians. Um, and then when had on an astrology episode, it became like my most listened to episode. And I didn't expect it because I thought it was just going to be like a filler. And then I was like, oh, I'm like, maybe I should tap into this more. So then I started having Susan Miller on and some random different astrologers here and there, like Evan Nathaniel Grimm one time, Lori Lothian one time, and every astrology episode did so well. And I wasn't even trying to like do anything like that. So this year, 2026, I'm doing like a 1 or 2 month period where I'm trying to have on a new astrologer every Friday.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but it has to be one that I like and connect with. So, um,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely you're one of them. So I've been following your work. Actually, shout out to psychic medium April Bissett, because she is the one who turned me onto your work. Um, and I started watching your videos after that. Um, and then here we are today.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, what? Yeah, no, I'm so honored to be here. Thanks for inviting me in, and I can't wait to indulge and get into it all. Um, but yeah, there is so much happening in 2026, and I think, everyone can relate to astrology, to their core identity. That's why it's so popular, and I think that people are waking up, they're opening their mind that there's not just this reality.
Yeah. And I think, and there's magic in everything. You write down to your name, Hathor, like the goddess.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is a channel, and this is going to sound really space cadet right now and very Mercury and Pisces, but
Which is
it's like you channel energy. So I'm like, okay, what do I actually want to bring in? And I'm like, Hathor, let's go. She's an Egyptian goddess who uses her voice, and she likes to eat and drink wine. So I'm like, yeah, that flows with Helena. Let's go. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a big change for all the signs. So yeah, it's going to be wild 2026.
I think just 2026 as a whole. For starters, it's 1 year in numerology.
Mm.
2025 was a 9 year, and that's ending cycles. It's a heavy year. And this year's a 1 year, new beginnings, go for it. It's also a horse year, which has that fire energy. As opposed to last year was a snake year, shedding skin, transformation. And of course, for the past 1 to 2 years, we've seen at least 5 planets dip in and out of signs. But finally, this year, 5 planets are moving ahead and not backtracking in the sign that they are entered or they are entering. And what I mean by that
Yeah,
is we have all 5 outer planets moving into fire and air, which is rare.
that's
So
right.
you want to break
And
down which ones they
permanently.
are.
Yeah, permanently as well, which when a sign shifts into another sign and it doesn't go backwards or retrograde, there are permanent shifts in your life. It's like a feeling of not going back. The door's closed. That era's done. And yeah, it's last year was heavy for everyone. It was so heavy, 2025, with, snake year, endings, healing, closure, a lot of karma for everyone that they just had to release. So this year is really redefining the individual, the individual's identity, but also the collective. So it's big stuff. It's a big movement. But yeah, I think that everyone's approach to life will be different after this after this year. Um, there's a few wild cards, obviously Uranus moving into Gemini, but I feel so much more optimistic about that than Uranus in Taurus, which is majorly disruptive. And I have three planets in Taurus, and I just
Ooh.
that was wild. Um, so I'm really looking forward to Uranus entering Gemini, and Uranus is, it does so well in Gemini. It's the higher octave, so it's basically it just performs well there. It's going to speed up communication, networking. I feel like people will be able to just educate themselves, and it will just promote a lot more freedom to the individual. So even though there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now, and there's a lot of moving parts, I feel like things will settle, and ultimately the collective and everyone will be a lot more like liberated and better in the end. In the end.
Yeah,
So
Uranus moving into Gemini is a big theme because it's going to stay there for at least 7 years, right?
yeah, so it starts a new cycle. And we did get a taste of it last year, which I loved. I don't know about you, but I was loving it when Uranus was in Gemini.
When did we get a
And
taste of it last year?
I believe it went in April. It retrograded back into Taurus in November, and November 2025 was hard,
Yeah, it
personally.
was. Yeah, it was same.
And
Yeah.
I did, yeah, it was Scorpio season. Uranus went back into Taurus. We were like, not this again. Jupiter went retrograde that month also, and there was also a Mercury retrograde. So yeah, from memory, might be a bit dusty, but yeah, so it was a lot. We did get a little taste last year though, briefly, and that was really exciting. So yeah, but April 26th this year is the day that Uranus officially moves into Gemini permanently. Um, so if you have anything in Gemini, everyone will feel this, because even if you don't have planets in Gemini, everyone has every zodiac sign in their chart. So everyone does feel a movement. Everyone will feel that shift, which we can get into. But yeah, like personally, I'm looking forward to it because it just Uranus has that rebellious energy. I'm an Aquarius, and I'm just ready for the shift. Get out of Taurus.
Yeah, and you had said it's a toxic sign to be in when Uranus is in Taurus, right?
Well, Taurus is resources and like money and your values, and Taurus is all about, being consistent. And when you put Uranus in there, the major disruptor, it's impossible to be consistent.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like massive windfalls, but in both ways. Like you could gain a lot of resources, lose a lot of resources. And that's just too much for someone's nervous system.
That
You
actually
know,
that actually is on par with when did it enter Taurus? Because it kind of aligns with my life.
2018. Yeah,
Okay.
2018. I'll have to grab my ephemeris so I can be accurate with dates.
Okay.
I don't want to give you inaccurate information, but it was 2018. So
Okay. Do you want to grab it now?
yeah, I will. Is that all
Okay.
right? Sorry, I'll just be 2 seconds. Hang on. So prepared, aren't I?
Oh, it's all good.
You can
It's
tell
like
that my ruler's retrograde. I'm a Gemini rising.
ah well
Yeah,
I'm a Gemini as you know because I sent you my information before. I have a Gemini stellium, Moon, Jupiter, Mars.
yeah, which is amazing because you're
And they're
always going to be really accommodating. Um, you know, if you have like a Gemini rising, because all those planets would fall into my first house. So I was like, I knew it was going to be a good podcast. um, but yeah, so you got a wild ride coming up then, a little bit, but in a good way, because Uranus is, you know, it does really well in Gemini.
Is it
So it's not
exalted
like,
in Gemini?
yes, that's right. It
It's
is.
exalted
Yeah.
in Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh,
And some astrologers argue that Uranus rules Gemini.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because we are a bit mental. We do
Yeah, that is
pivot,
true. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Uranus disrupts. It's like, oh, hang on, I'm just going to go over here, because Gemini is constantly receiving new information, and people think Gemini are two-faced, but it's not the truth. We're just more up to date than everyone else.
That's good. That's good that so Gemini is exalted in Uranus. That makes so much sense. That's like Pisces being exalted in Venus. So, or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Uranus is exalted in Gemini, yeah, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. So um, you put the planet in the sign, and like the sign is the archetype, so it's how it manifests, it's how that planetary energy is playing out in the earth realm.
it's so interesting that you had mentioned that Uranus moved into Taurus
Yeah,
um
I'll give you the date. Hang on, I'm
in
just looking in the book.
2018 because I felt like between 2018 to now, my life has been like you said, it could bring up, down, and that's
Oh,
exactly how it
it
felt.
was not fun, and you have survived it. But it moved that it was May. It was the 15th of May, 2018.
Okay. Oh, wow. Interesting. That's the day before my
Yeah.
mother's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because she's a Taurus. Um,
How is she all right? She doing all right? She survived Uranus and Taurus?
yeah. Well, let's see. Using my mother as an example, who's a Taurus. Between that time period, she got remarried to my father.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, some home changes. Um, there was one that we all had to get acclimated to. It's a long story. Yeah, she's had work changes as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for Taurus, it's just been really unsettling. They've just seen massive upheaval in their home life, in their career. They've had to rebuild, which is insufferable for Taurus because they're builders, you
Hmm.
know, and they really invest everything. And even when they have nothing left to give, they're still like, oh, well, if they previously have invested in someone or something, as long as everything's on good terms, they're willing to pick it up again, which is, you know, maybe why they've got remarried. Like, it's like, well, this is energy that is familiar, and people change, people evolve, people wake up. Uranus even though it's disruptive, it's awakening because it's new information. Like Uranus and Mercury are two of the same, but Uranus is like it works in a faster way than Mercury. Um, it's like Mercury on steroids.
Yeah. And
um,
me myself, I feel like it was up and down, both money wise, in the beginning, career wise, relationship wise, but also health wise, because I know I have Taurus is my sixth, even though I don't have any planets in Taurus, Taurus is my sixth house.
yeah, yeah, but you
So
had Uranus in there. You had Uranus in the sixth house,
I had
and
multiple surgeries, both medical and cosmetic. Um, and yeah,
wow,
some that needed to be redone. Like when I got my
yeah,
nose done the first time, I did have a deviated septum, but I had a hump. But when I got it done the first time, it was botched. So I needed to get it done the second time. And then I had a big cyst on my right wrist and I got it removed and it grew back. So I needed to get the surgery again. So it makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's not consistent, and like it's like you couldn't just do it and then it was done. Tick next. You know, it was
Y-
like, you know, maybe it was Uranus. I'd have to look at what was happening for you when you had the surgery. Around those dates, there may have been other planets that were, you know, Venus may have been retrograde. Like, you never know. Like, well, I do know people that have gone for surgery whilst Venus was retrograde.
I
And no,
don't think they
mm,
were. At least the cosmetic ones,
okay.
I don't think they were.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, it's just massive upheaval. And the sixth house is also, um, work. Did you say you switched jobs because you were doing radio for a while or something? And
Yeah,
then,
so I was working in radio, and I was really, my whole career since I started working was centered around me being in radio. And then after like 8, 9 years in radio, the pandemic came, and they really fucked us over. They said they furloughed at like half the staff, but they said we were put on pause, crock of fucking shit, and then they never brought us back. So there was like a 2 year
oh,
period before I just had to like really pivot. I was like, I worked my whole career to be in radio. I'm out of a radio job. So I had to pick up marketing work that I hated for 2 years while I started building the podcast. Um, and then around 3 years ago, my podcast took off, and then I pivoted from radio to TV, like some television work that I do, technical work. So yeah, a lot of changes. Up, like I said, ups, down, ups, down, ups, down. Same with the money.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I do know you've got Saturn and Neptune in Capricorn, don't you? In the second house, which is money, work, income.
Yes, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and that makes you serious. Eventually, it makes you seriously financially independent. So, and Saturn is home in Capricorn, but also it's a hard one because it's still in Capricorn. It's a big mountain to climb, like
Yeah.
I it's a hard nut to crack. I would prefer if I had like sat because I have the same placement just in a different house, but Saturn in Libra would be easier because Saturn is exalted in Libra because it's in its fall in Aries. So, Libra is able to kind of just like it creates more of a justice balance. It takes on Saturn's, you know, restrictions and allows both parties to benefit. So, in a situation like that, you can kind of things balance out a bit easier and it's not as extreme. Um, but yeah, that's interesting, how that all unfolded for you. It's all in alignment. It's just, yeah, it just would have been super rocky.
Yeah, it really was. Since it entered, it felt like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
God, yeah. And anything to do with pets as well. Do you have pets?
I do. I have one Yorkie, which I actually got the beginning of 2018.
So that's interesting. Yeah. So you got your pet at the beginning when Uranus entered Taurus, like now
Yeah.
it's time for a small animal in my home.
Yeah.
um, but also every house has a polarity. So even though you were experiencing all this in your sixth house, the polarity is also the 12th. So Scorpio, 12th house. So endings, closure, karma. So you would have experienced maybe some spirituality coming at that point too, like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
higher
absolutely.
awareness.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been like very I've learned to trust myself because I've learned always been very intuitive. Sometimes stuff comes to me in dreams before they happen. So
Yeah.
I've accepted and more other things, but I've learned to accept that more probably during that time period. But also 12th house is endings, right?
It's death.
Oh,
Yeah, it's endings and
that
it's
would
basic.
that
Yeah. So
that
like people, mm,
yeah. Yeah, because I lost my editor who I was close with, my grandmother. Um, yeah, a friend passed away in October. So yeah.
yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's awful.
Well,
Um,
hopefully it'll all be gone, and as this is leaving now. So
yeah, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's still, even though you know that this is all happening, it's still really hard to go through as well. But
And it was
yeah,
also
like
like that makes sense. It was aspecting the 12th in my case. And this is good for people to learn too, because like whatever Uranus is aspecting, whatever house in their chart, it's also aspecting the one directly opposite of it as well.
that's right. And I think so many people miss that everything has a polarity. And
Yes.
especially when planets are retrograde, you need to kind of lean into the other zodiac sign because that's the key. That's the key to restoring order is adopting those traits from the other sign.
Exactly. And using me as
Yeah.
an example for everyone, it was aspecting since when Uranus was in Taurus the entire time, like we said, was aspecting my sixth, which is health and career, but it was also the polarity of that, which is the 12th, which is spirituality, but also endings, death, etc.
Yeah.
Um, and that was
So
when I
like
faced literal physical loss, meaning people passing away, but also
mm,
people leaving my life due to betrayal. Like I have an
yeah.
entirely different social circle now than I did when it first entered Taurus. And then believe me, I'm grateful for that. But
Wow.
like you said, yeah, it's on par.
Well, yeah, it's and the 12th house is like corporations as well. Like, it's so if you were part of, a group, you can leave. And um it's the house of hidden enemies. Um
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, exact betrayal.
yeah, but
Yeah.
also the seventh house is open enemies. So like people that are actually like in your face, you're my you're my enemy. Like so if you've got planets in the seventh house, I find people either love you or hate you. And it's just like, sorry, I'm fabulous.
Okay. I mean, I think I could handle that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trigger thing. It's a trigger thing because it's like you bring up people's hidden, essentially. You bring up what's inside them that they're unaware of.
Hmm.
It's a seventh house thing. But with the eighth house is also death, but it's not death that happens to you, it happens to other people. So it's like the crisis house because it's Scorpio. And then, yeah, so it's like if you have planets through there, it's like, oh shit, what's going on there? Like, but it's not happening directly to you. So,
Interesting.
but then if you have planets in the 12th house or you have planets transiting the 12th house, yeah, it's endings. It's endings. I have three planets there, so I've definitely felt that.
In the eighth house?
I have three in the eighth, three in the 12th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Interesting. See, I think
yeah.
I don't have anything in the eighth except Chiron. Um, and the only thing I have in the 12th is, as you know, Scorpio.
Yeah, well, Chiron in the eighth is almost like you're wounded through people that you trust, through you that you have like, intimate shared resources with, or just intimate relationships. It's kind of like just looking for that connection,
Yeah.
basically, where it's just on equal footing and it's absolute unconditional. And also, you have to keep making yourself vulnerable in relationships.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, okay. But actually, that's the key to healing because it's the wounded healer. So you kind of rise with it. Um, but yeah, I it's if you have anything in the eighth house, it can be significant. It's significant. Any planets that you have anywhere in your chart, there's something you've chosen that area of life specifically to have earthly lessons.
See, mine are that is true. That's why people need to know about all the houses and what they represent. I'm glad.
Mm.
I think outside of the Scorpio and my rising, everything is jumbled in three areas in my chart. I think it's the second, the fourth, and either the sixth or the seventh.
Do you want to look at it now or do you want to look at it later? I was just
Um,
gonna We can look at it later.
yeah, let's look at it later because right now I kind of
Hmm.
want to educate people on like figuring out their own birth chart. So in a birth
Yeah,
chart,
yeah.
there's obviously because there's 12 signs, there's 12 houses, but each house represents something different. So do you want to just quickly break down what each house represents from 1 to 12? From
Yeah, absolutely. So The first house is your first point of awareness, and it's your self appearance, it's your presentation, it's first impressions, your approach to life. It literally it's kind of it dictates the rest of the chart. The first house is important. It's a physical house. um so yeah, it's basically how you approach life and your presentation. The rising sign is the presentation of the sun sign, your core identity. It's a little bit different. But so when people see you, they see your first house. They're like, oh, hello, and whatever sign that falls in is basically the style that the other person is receiving from you. That's the energy that they're picking up on. So sometimes when someone's trying to guess your sign, they usually guess your rising or the sign that rules your first house. And anyone that has planets in the first house definitely has a lot more like magnetism. When they enter a room, there's just more energy there. They're obviously they're big at speaking. They like to really like voice their opinion, I find. They've got that Aries energy, like me first, you
Oh, yeah,
second.
that's very
um,
good actually.
and if you have the moon in the first, they're big whiners. They let you know when anything's wrong. Some of them can be hypochondriacs. They're like, something's on me. I can feel it, you know. But they're actually really psychic. They're people that can like read into energy when they meet someone. They're a really good judge of character. But yeah, so that's the first house. The second house is money. It's your personal income. So it's your possessions, it's your resources, it's your work ethic, it's your approach to daily routines, your habits. So if you have planets in the second house, usually it's a good sign that you're going to make some money in this life, because you're like, well, I've set out to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Obviously it depends if it's a malefic or a benefic planet, but it's essentially your money, and what you own, and the sign is how it plays out. People that have like a Cancerian second house are really sentimental. Some even like hoard. They have problems like letting go of like just junk, because they're like, no, that's like something that I picked up that I just love the feeling of, that makes me feel good. But yeah, it's also the things that do make you feel good, that give you pleasure, luxury, because it's a natural Taurus ruled house. So,
Yeah.
if you've got planets there, you might find that you're more prone to luxury and opulence, because you're like, yeah, I want to eat good, I want to feel good. So it feeds into the first. And the third house is your mind and your thinking. And your neighbors, your environment, your brothers, your sisters, like errands. Like I've just got to run to the post office to see the doctor, and it's a networking house. People are very mentally busy in this house as well. Like I find if you've got planets in the third house, I, my mom is a key example. Like she has like the sun and the moon there, I think, but she struggles to kind of stay on one topic. She'll divert, like, and I'm like, okay, what's going on there? But I'm like, let's get back to the storyline.
Yeah.
You have to sort of pull them back in, like, but they're very busy as well. I find that the third house is like they've just got, there's always something going on. I've got this doctor's appointment, da, 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 da. But yeah, so, and it's a social house. It's your friend group. The fourth house is your home and your roots, your family, your parents. Some astrologers believe that it represents the father, others the mother. It really depends on the chart. But it's your ancestors, it's your legacy. It's your psychological inheritance. It's what you've, inherited sort of as a child. And it's an important house. It's a deep house. It's naturally ruled by the moon, so it's a psychic house. The fourth, the eighth, and the 12th are all very psychic houses. They're all natural water houses. But yeah, so it's self-care and your emotions and your ability to sort of regulate your emotions too. Um, and then the fifth house is the natural Leo house. So it's very playful. It's your early childhood. So what you remember growing up as, or playing as a child, whether you played with a doll's house or whatever. It's romance, it's passion, it's everything that's fun and joyful. And it's drama, it's fertility, it's kids, it's like everything that is like loud and fun and exciting. Basically, it's one of the best houses. A lot of people are performers who have planets in the fifth house. And normally they've got like a loud Leo energy about them, even if they're not a Leo, they've just got that Leo presence. And the sixth house is your health. So it used to be known as the house of bad fortune, but I don't know, like I think that this can be a really good house. If people think like Pluto in the sixth house is bad, but Pluto in the sixth is good, it means that you control your life. You're the one who wants to work for yourself. You don't want to work for a boss or someone above you. It's lifestyle. It's your lifestyle. So it's the everyday mundane reality that you experience day to day. Pets as well, and it's the now. I feel like it's the most present house that you can be in, and it's the natural Virgo house. So it's all about the details and the things that you do every day over the long term. So it's really important to think about the sixth house as like, okay, well, what's in my sixth house and what do I want to implement every day? What am I doing every day that's building over time that I'm not seeing, because of the polarity of the sixth is the 12th is the unseen. So that's why it's really important to sort of meditate before you wake up and begin your life. Like, what am I actually doing? But it's health and fitness too. So it's really important to look after your health. Like, you've got planets moving through the sixth house. Okay, now it's time to really focus on my physical body. Do you want me to like
Yeah.
pause, or do you just want me to?
No,
Yeah, okay.
keep going. Yeah, and
Oh,
I just realized, I don't know why I wasn't sure before, a crazy busy day. I just realized all my Gemini planets are in my seventh house.
yeah,
And the
yeah, that's
seventh,
right.
yeah. But anyway, moving ahead. So I think we're up to the seventh house now.
Well, you're a Pisces, aren't you? You're a
Yes.
sun in Pisces. Yeah, yeah. Well, and you're Sag rising.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's very like spiritual truth seeker. Um, and you have the sun in the fourth.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like your roots and your identity. Yeah, it's all about kind of like you eventually create your own domain and your own life, and you're known for it.
Mm.
So but we'll get into that. But yeah, so the seventh house is relationships and marriage, contracts. It's a public house, so it's like it's a fame house because people can see you, and what you do, particularly with another person, because it's a Libra natural ruled house, and Libra rules partnerships. So if you know have planets move through the seventh house like Jupiter, you might find that that's a year where you have a lot of abundant relationships, or you might get married that year. But the seventh house is really a deep understanding of other people's awareness, not just your own. So you're here to kind of really like delve into relationships and lessons about relationships and what it means to be in a relationship, and all relationships, business partners, romantic partners, your one-on-one interactions with everyone. So yeah, it's a big house. And yeah, it's an important one. So it's the opposite of the first. So I find that, people that have a lot in the seventh house really need to hone in and like look at their own core identity, because they can skip that a bit, because it can be a bit like, oh, I'll accommodate other people, and sort of forget that they can lose themselves a little bit. Not always.
Yeah.
It really depends on the chart. But that's kind of like the a deeper layer of it. And then you move from the seventh house to the eighth house, which is the hidden. So it's like what goes on behind closed doors in that relationship. So like the seventh house is like you get married, and then the eighth house is like you go to the bedroom, but nobody sees that. That's what it's like intimate partnerships. Yeah. So it's the house of other people's secrets. And it is money, resources. The eighth house is a very powerful, intimate, deep house. It's death and rebirth and taxes. It's extremes. It's when you have planets move through the eighth, you might find that you go through a bit of a crisis, because anything that moves through the eighth transforms you, usually through someone else. But it's a relief. It's a relief, and it's inheritance as well. So it's money that you receive through others. But yeah, you've got to watch that house because it's naturally ruled by Scorpio. The sign of secrets. And then the ninth house is a Jupiter ruled house. It's ruled by Sagittarius. So we're kind of lifted out of the eighth into the ninth. So we're like out of the underworld and into the sky. And that is the house of higher education. So astrology, lawyers, doctors, university. We're able to really like awaken our mind. We can like read books here. We can travel and escape mentally or physically. We can decide that, we need to go and be gypsies and move around, and and it's also religion and your belief system. So, and what you've learned through others that shapes your belief system. So it's other people's beliefs, but you also shape your own through it. Yeah. And that it's also the house of like, okay, as it's a communication house, because it's the opposite of the third house, which is a Gemini natural ruled house. It kind of shapes your long-term decisions because it's behind the 10th house of career. So if it's like, what am I going to do that I want to do long-term, that I'm going to be publicly known for? Yeah. So, it's a very important house, and it can really broaden your horizons and take you places. And then the 10th house is the Capricorn natural ruled house. It's Saturn ruled. So you get what you earn here. And people that have a lot of 10th house placements are big achievers. It's, it's your career, it's your goals. It's another big public house. Some astrologers believe it's ruled by the father, but other times it can be the mother. Like, it might be that, if you have the moon here, your mum was really career driven, because the moon represents the mum. But essentially, though, the 10th house is your public image, and it's a natural fame house as well. So even if you have nothing in the 10th house, you could have planets move through there and suddenly you become famous, because people are just recognizing you for who you are. And like, you don't have to have, like, people are like, oh, I've got nothing in that house, so that means that this is never going to happen for me. I'm never going to be recognized. But the planets are always moving. So, yeah. And it's a masculine house as well. So it's got that like energy of like, I'm going to take on the world, very Capricorn, and climb that mountain and be known for climbing Mount Everest. Don't do that. And then the 11th house is the groups, friends. It's the masses, the collective. It's the Aquarius house. So very important. It's your, okay, well, what's next? We've achieved that. So let's look forward. What's our vision now? Like, what are we wanting to achieve long term that's down the road that we have, that we're going to map out, and we're going to like think about this, because Aquarius loves to think, and really like determine our long term hopes and dreams. So people, it's also a fame house, and it's a money house too. It's the money that you make from the 10th house.
Okay.
So people, yeah, it's like the people that support your business usually come from the 11th, because they're like your group, your entourage, and it's also the house of humanitarianism. So like, people that have a lot of 11th house placements might be known for, doing things to help others and giving others that limelight, not like the 5th house, which is like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Whereas the 11th house, it gives others a platform that, like Lady Diana would have, I haven't actually looked at her chart, but she'd be a good example. I'm sure she's got Aquarius in there somewhere. But that energy, and then the 12th house is the end. It's the end, and it's like everything here is the door. I see the 12th house as the door to the next life. So it's a portal, it's an unseen portal, which is only activated when it needs to be. And it's psychic house too. So it's like, a lot of psychic mediums have access here to that door, that doorway that, is unseen through their visions, like they might have a clairaudience as well, or clairvoyance. And it's a deaf house. So, but it's also a beautiful house. It's also like the house of dreams, and like what you want to call in to, call in, and then get detail oriented about, and make that happen in the 6th house, and how can you implement those changes into your life to create that big dream.
I see.
So that's all the
All 12
houses.
houses. So now when people look at their astrology chart and they have no clue what the hell it means, they could reference this video and be like, okay, now I know what the first, second, all the way through the 12th means. So that's why I
Yeah,
wanted to do that.
that's so good. Yeah, well, I hope they find it useful. And like, it's always good to just keep checking your chart and seeing what house is being activated. And if you've got any planets retrograde that are moving through those houses, you need to lean into the energy of the other house to kind of balance it out.
Yeah.
Like, what would a Virgo do right now? Okay, they'd get focused. They'd stop trying to, like, muddle around in the communication and look for the spiritual meaning, because Mercury's in Pisces. So it's like, it's so easy to just like, you know, go a bit deeper and actually forget what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're doing really well, because Mercury's not only is Mercury weak in Pisces, it's also retrograde. So we're beating the odds.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a good retrograde period because of that reason alone. And this year they're all in retrograde signs. So now we're having it as we record, Mercury's retrograde in Pisces, and then the other two retrogrades come during Cancer and Scorpio season.
Yeah, that's right. I'll let you know when the other ones are approaching. They're all in water signs.
This year, which is interesting. It makes me
Mm.
wonder if the retrogrades this year are going to be more of an emotional time or the like
Yeah,
because they're all in water.
absolutely. Absolutely. And more nostalgic as well, Um, and I think that it's definitely a time of emotional release, especially, June, I believe, is the next retrograde after this one. So it's in Cancer. I'll give you a date for that one. But, that could be a very reflective time, having a lot of deep and meaningfuls with family members, talking about things that are going to allow you to kind of have that emotional release, get back on track with family. But yeah, so I know Jupiter's been in Cancer for a while, and
Yeah.
it's currently retrograde. And Jupiter expands anything that it touches. So, you know, I feel like for Cancers, they're like, we've had Jupiter here and nothing's happened. Wait for it to turn direct, this month, March 11th, because then they'll really see a significant. Like I feel like like Saturn was also in Pisces at the 29th degree, just drowning everyone
Yeah.
in spiritual depression, and like but I don't have very good things to say about Saturn in Pisces. It was just too much,
It was
and
way too much.
it was
Yeah.
just too much. Yeah, it was like, what are we doing here? We're just like lost. But even though Saturn is in its fall in Aries, I still feel like we're better off here.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
At least we can kind of focus on ourselves a bit and not wallow. I feel like we were all wallowing and kind
Yeah.
of like
And
playing
everything
this
felt too
victim.
intense. Yeah.
Yeah, like let's like just
Especially for
focus
the
on the
mutable
past.
signs that
Oh
were
Lord.
being hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God. I just felt so much better. But as soon as Saturn left the building and entered Aries, I was like, I'm free, I'm free.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. But yeah, so the Mercury will be transiting the water signs, and yeah, when it goes into Scorpio, there's also a Venus retrograde,
Yeah.
so
The Venus
that
retrograde
happens.
every 2 years. I try not to
Right.
do anything cosmetic during that time period.
No, don't do it to yourself.
No.
Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah.
um Venus will be in its fall. um Let me just check when the retrograde is. So it's October. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, the 24th of October. Venus will be in Scorpio at that point in time, but not retrograde. But it will be about to turn retrograde. But yeah, I would just avoid, even because Venus will be in Libra as well, retrograde. I just think even though Venus is home in Libra, and that's it's a self care. It's self care essentially.
Yeah.
It's all about self care.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're better off playing it safe and don't do anything around that Mercury Venus crossover retrograde period this year.
Yeah, nothing irreversible. Nothing irreversible. Even, it's just not worth it if you can't undo those changes.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so Venus is actually retrograde in early October, so that will be the 3rd of October, and then Mercury will be retrograde later on in October. So just forget the end of the
October?
year.
No, no. Play it safe in October.
Even November, I just would be like, because and then Venus will bounce between. So Venus love partnerships, aesthetics. It will bounce between Libra and Scorpio from pretty much from September all the way through to 2027.
Ooh, really? Wow.
Yeah, Venus enters Sagittarius in January of 2027, and that will be like our saving grace. But we will be challenged with a Mars retrograde in Virgo.
At the same time. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. So word to the wise, make sure you don't do anything during the Mercury Venus retrograde that's related to like irreversible things.
Yeah, irreversible. Like it's not the time to make serious.
Decisions
I
about
would I
anything.
would wait to get a tattoo, things like
Yeah.
that. Like
But even
I just would.
Botox or filler.
That's right. I mean, if it's your regular thing and it's like, look, this is regular for me. I know it's going to be fine. You've done this a million times. Usually it's fine. It's absolutely fine. If it's your first time, it's like you can't communicate what you need, and then Venus is also not in a good position to make you look good. So it's usually you've got to go back over it
Yeah.
anyway. But it's a good time to sort of really look at your closest relationships. Yeah, because it's Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio. and like maybe see where you're like too attached, too possessive, or someone else is being like that with you. Where is everything unbalanced when it comes to shared resources, shared money? It could be a good time to actually look at your taxes and just get
Oh,
balanced with that,
yeah.
because Virgo is all about the details, and then when Mars enters Virgo, you're going to be like, I'm actually really glad that I got back on track with my paperwork, you know, around August, September, so that by the time we enter that Mars retrograde in Virgo, you're on top of it. You got receipts. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so. Mm,
So we've covered the retrogrades. I want to dive more into Uranus and Gemini because that's such a big theme of the entire year.
it's
Um,
enormous.
I'm wondering if you could give like a mini forecast for every sign about how this will affect them, because this is going to be a long 7 year transit. Maybe it's even longer than that. So it's kicking off April 26th of this year, and it's going until
Mm. It's going until, let's give you the day. It's going to be a while. And it's really going to kickstart your
oh,
rebellious
2033.
energy. Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Hang on, I just want to be precise for you. Because we've got to try and be precise while Mercury is in Pisces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 2033
Um,
rather. I think, see, I think I said 2023.
20. Oh God. Okay, so you get a taste of it. You get a taste of Uranus in Cancer in August 2032. That's right. So you get a little bit of like disruption with family themes and home themes when it finally moves into that. There might be like a crash in the market then, something like that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Um,
We got a while.
yeah, we got a while. But yeah, so 2033, I believe, May.
Wow.
May.
So we're
Yeah.
looking at just over 7 years of Uranus and Gemini. Um,
Hmm.
could you cover where each sign is going to feel it? And
Yeah.
people that listen could apply this to their sun or their rising.
Yeah, let's do it. So you can, if we look at, we'll start with Gemini because just the Uranus is entering your sign. So uh, Uranus is the disruptor. So you're going to feel like breaking out of your normal, your comfort zone. I feel like you're going to do something really creative that people do not expect. Like you're going to wow a lot of people. It will be like you're kind of utilizing all your tools in your toolbox. So people are going to be really struck by Gemini and Gemini placements. They're going to be on fire. So this is going to change your appearance. You might change your clothes. Um, and you might find that anyone that's like making you feel trapped in a relationship, you just have to break away from. But it's definitely going to change your presentation to the rest of the world. So, your attitude's going to change too. Like, well, just fuck it. I'm just going to do it. Like, why not? YOLO. And just your whole approach to life will just be a lot more liberating. And I think Geminis are just going to be like, that energy of like girls just want to have fun, like letting their hair down and really embracing themselves, and they're just going to be really like growing into themselves. It's really exciting for Gemini, but it's just new beginnings. It's a whole new life for you, and how you show up. You're giving new energy now to the universe, so you look different, and the universe is giving you new opportunities, and you're really breaking out of your reality. So it's one of the most exciting changes. You can really change anything in your life with Uranus in the first house.
Oh, wow.
So anything that you want to just remove or invite, like you've got all the world's in your hands, world's your oyster. So mega exciting for you. I think it's probably the most beneficial.
Nice.
So I hope that helps. And then, you know, we have for so Uranus is going to be, it's moving into Taurus's second house. So that's going to be some changes for Taurus's money. They're going to be making money in unexpected ways. Money will be delivered to them, in faster ways, basically, because Uranus in Gemini, again, it does exceedingly well there. I think that this will be to do with obviously communication, because it's that Gemini energy, making a lot more trades. Maybe if you're in the commerce trade, it's just going to be really good for your business and your material possessions. So just expect what you do for work to radically change. And I think just a lot more freedom in what you do too. So it's like, because you're making more money and it's coming in faster, you've got more time. So your priorities will change if you're a Taurus, and your habits as well. So you might change your diet, because this is food as well for Taurus. So it's like, maybe I will buy the uncaged eggs. um, so but it's going to be a radical shift the next several years in your money, your personal, which is good. That's what you want. So just expect that to change. Like, I think that, Uranus will have moved out of Taurus's sign, but now it's just making radical changes in your personal income. So you might also sell a lot around this time. Like, I've got to get rid of that. It's holding me back. Like, clear that out. Anything that is, any possessions that are bogging you down, basically. Yeah. And, maybe that will take some processing. Like, if something is sentimental, but you've got to like really think to yourself, like, is this, am I resonating with this? Is this like, is this holding value in my life anymore? And I think that will change your Taurus's approach to relationships too. So yeah, because again, the second and the eighth house are connected. So I hope that helps, Taurus. I just think, ride that wave. And maybe if you're a Taurus, you could start thinking about now, like, what would your ideal way to earn money be? Like, what would it be? Like, you could start thinking about that now. And then we have Cancer. So yeah, Uranus is going to be moving into, sorry, my mind's just gone blank because I'm going in the other order.
I know. Yeah,
Sorry.
the third.
I'm like, hang on a minute. Where are we?
I think it's Aries, and it's moving into their third.
I'm like darting around, like, hang on. Come back to Earth. Yeah, sorry. So Cancer, you've got
I think, are you sure?
It's your 12th house. It's Cancer's 12th house.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's Gemini.
My God. So it's Gemini's first, it's Taurus's second, and because we're going backwards, it's Aries third, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, we're just going to do it in whatever order today, because like Mercury is retrograde. So
yeah.
Right. Sorry about that. So Uranus moving into the third house is a radical change in the thoughts, and like, it's basically like your way of thinking, if you're an Aries, will just completely pivot. I think it will just really kind of awaken your experience to life. And siblings as well could really change. If you haven't been getting along with your sibling, it's like you might start hanging out with them or reconnecting with them. And yeah, just like your neighborhood. Yeah, like you might find that you're just a lot more social, so yeah, just social activities, like you might start just doing some crazy like hobbies, something that's always interested you, but you've never really had time for until now. Yeah, just like AI will just completely change the way that you conduct your day to day. So it's going to be useful there. I think the hardest thing will be staying grounded, to be honest. And yeah, in your like thinking, and like just try to not get it's distracting. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just think you just if I would just put your feet on the grass, and like just remember where you are, like come back in your body, because I think it can be a lot up here. Meditate and like have those daily practices. A lot of short trips as well, because the third house is short trips, so like darting around and maybe finding a new way of like transport. Like you might decide that there's a faster way to get around, something that's better for your health too. Like maybe it's like, I'm going to ride a bike to work, or maybe you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to annoy everyone. No. But yeah, so just expect a lot more interaction with your siblings as well, or your closest friends. And you're going to make new social circles. And also if you have a podcast, it could just really go off, because the third house is naturally ruled by Taurus, which is the voice. So yeah, it's pretty big. And so yeah, that's Aries. So what have we done? We've done Gemini, Cancer, Aries.
Because we're going backwards. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we've done Gemini, Taurus, Aries,
So
and
we're going
next
to do
up,
Pisces now, are we?
yes.
Um,
I
all
think
right.
Pisces is the
So
fourth house, right?
that's correct. Yeah. So I mean, they might move. You might move house, sell a house. Like, definitely, I think that the way you think about family will change, uh, and the way you approach family. It's also like just everything to do with family dynamics. But some Pisces might decide that they kind of need more independence, and they might feel like a bit restricted in their home, and they just need to be more independent. So they might decide that like there has to be a better way, or an alternative way of kind of creating more space. And just Uranus there really makes you want to kind of break out of where you live, and just this itchiness, this restlessness to just go and travel and see the rest of the world. So there could be that need to go and just suddenly travel. Yeah, or if you're like a Pisces that's serious about growing a family, now's the time when you might experience like, okay, well, let's begin, let's start now, or let's grow this. So yeah, it's really going to change the dynamics in your foundation. And of course, like the fourth and the 10th are on an axis, so you might find that you might start working from home because you've got more time now to work from home, and commuting to the office was just not ideal. But it's just going to give you more freedom and liberation in your physical home space.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting, that one.
Yeah. And so Aquarius, Uranus is going to move into your fifth house. So some Aquarians are going to have affairs,
Oh,
you
fun.
know.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if you find that out about your Aquarius friend. But also it's the house of drama and self-expression. So a lot of Aquarians are going to be launched into fame. And again, it's a house of fertility. So you might decide that I actually want to have more babies, or I want to start growing a family also, similar to Pisces. But you will experience a lot more passion and love come in, and just your Aquarians will just start communicating in an entirely different way. Like I think that they'll find new ways to really express themselves and communicate, their their meaning of life or whatever it is they're trying to change about the world. They've got Pluto in their sign as well, so they're really pulling this change into the world that we're seeing now. But I think that it will give a lot more childlike spirit to the Aquarians, and they'll have a lot more fun with it. But I also think that the relationship, if you have kids, you could reconnect with your children, just or if you're an older Aquarian, you might find that things change in your family and you become a grandparent. So there's just a lot of those themes will play out. And it's just an exciting time if you're an Aquarian to just start a creative project that you've always wanted to do. Yeah. Who we got next? Capricorn.
Yes.
Capricorn, yeah. So Uranus is moved. We've got our flow now. We're back on track.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, where were we for a minute? Uranus is moving into Capricorn's 6th house. So that is what you just experienced, but it will be a bit easier because, again, it's playing out in Gemini. So it might be a time for Capricorns to really, check in with themselves, get your needs checked. Is everything in working order? Like, there will be some disruptions. It is a time to look after your health in alternative ways. Like, maybe you want to implement Reiki in your day-to-day, or reflexology, or acupuncture, or you want to have a cold plunge bath, like alternative things that make your health abundant. Yeah. But they could completely break out of an old job they've been in for years. You know how Capricorn, they just keep going along and going up and up.
They do.
But it might be a time that they're just like, do you know what? I used to be a ballerina and I'm just going to start doing soccer, football, whatever. It's just like, I just need to do something entirely different that changes who I am. And they are making money in extraordinary ways because they've got Pluto in their 2nd house of personal income. So their money is changing. Do you know what? I should have dipped into Jupiter moving into Leo while we were doing this, but that's okay. Because like Capricorns will experience a lot of money come in this year because with Uranus moving into their 6th house and Jupiter moving into Leo, that's their 8th house of shared money. So maybe some of them are like, I don't have to work anymore. I can just, my partner can work. Yeah. But we can do Jupiter. That's all right.
You come back for a part 2 next week, maybe.
Yeah. Or whenever. Yeah. That'd be lovely. Yeah. We can do it from here. We can start from where we're at. So who we got next? Capricorn, Sagittarius.
Yes, and I believe it's moving into their 7th house, right?
Yeah. So this is going to be exciting for their relationships, especially if you're a single Sagittarius. It's going to really break down that door of feeling if you've been like single for a while, you might actually be intrigued to start that journey. But also if you're in an existing relationship that's just gone stale, it just might be time to end it. And it's just like this, you just aren't resonating with this person that's been in your life. It's not a good mirror for your identity. So some Sagittariuses will pull away, others will meet someone, but it will be like a really unique kind of eccentric relationship. That's what they're going after. They're going to meet a lot of people from different walks of life, and if you have a Sagittarius friend, you might be like, well, who's this? And they're like, oh, I met this person in this club and now they're my friend. So sort of adopting everyone, but it'll be really good, and exciting. If you're in a good, healthy relationship, it will just give you kind of more fun, more spontaneity. Yeah. So for Scorpio, it's moving to Scorpio's 8th house of intimacy, money. So that's really going to change things with whoever they work for. If they work for someone, it might be the time where they can negotiate a raise. or break away from being, financially dependent on someone. Um, they could get an inheritance around this time. They might experience, just it's a windfall of money essentially. But a lot of secrets are going to come out too about Scorpio's partners or work partners, whatever, because information is Gemini, and so it's like, oh, we could have been working this way all along. And then Scorpio is going to go, oh, well, okay, well, you kept that hidden. So that can be a bit disruptive. And but otherwise, this can be excellent for Scorpio's passive income and making money in alternative ways. Yeah. And a lot of Scorpios are going to get freaky in the bedroom, just saying.
They're already freaky, so moving into their eighth house.
Yeah, who knows what they've got going on in that box of tricks after Uranus enters Gemini. Like, God. Taboo. But yeah, so who we got next? Libra. So Uranus is moving into Libra's ninth house. So that will be like, again, like the need to travel and like just feed their mind, learn something new, like new education, new opportunity, exciting new opportunity for them to just see more of the world and like awaken their belief system. Yeah. And just, yeah, I just think it'll be good for Libra spiritually as well. And publishing, if they have like anything written, like it's time to just become an author. Do that if you're a Libra. Because yeah, that'll be really good for you and eventually your reputation. And I think, I think Libras are going to get a lot wiser as well. So they're just kind of reshaping their philosophy about life. But yeah, I think it'll be good for them. I think as well with technology, they're just communicating in a more speedy way. Like they've just accelerated what they do, whatever that looks like for them. And who do we have? Virgo. We've got Virgo next. God, it's going to be a wild year for Virgo's career in the best way. So like they will completely be known for doing something different, but that fits. It's like the right fit. The shoe fits.
Oh.
So it does benefit them. They're a Mercury ruled sign, but it will break them out of a career that they've been doing for, that long-term structure, and just they could experience a massive shift in their like social status, fame, just overnight success. But whatever they're doing now, you're going to be so surprised with Virgos, like what they come out with. Like, you're doing what? Like, oh my God, okay.
Oh wow, it's in
Uh,
their 10th house. Big.
yeah, it is big. And also they might have some discussions with parents, like just they might learn a lot about their roots and their background, because again, it's that 10th, 4th house polarity. Um, Sometimes Virgos here might be surprised actually about what they have to take on. Like, oh, okay, so now I have to take care of this person, or I have to take on that responsibility. I didn't expect to do that, but I'm happy to. They're just busy. They're just so busy. So yeah, you're gonna have to schedule in with Virgos from April. um,
And then Leo.
yeah, Leo. Okay. Oh
It's their
God.
11th.
Yeah, they're the 11th house. So, well, that's a fame house.
Oh.
It's pretty exciting for Leo. They've got Jupiter in their sign, so that's going to expand so much opportunity for them. I mean, like they're already proud, aren't they? Leos are
Yeah,
going to be
yeah,
off
they're
tap.
obnoxiously at times.
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, and I just thought, Jupiter is going to be opposite Pluto, July 20th. That's going to be big for Leo's July, especially. I think the whole world July. But yeah, so this is going to really change their friends, their groups of friends, and basically, like they're just going to be the they're the point of social awareness. So yeah, they just expect them to be hanging out with a whole new crowd because yeah, everything's going to change for Leo in the
Really?
best way. I think they're going to get a lot more opportunity. Yeah, they've had Pluto in their seventh house for a while, which is it can be a bit debilitating, and almost you feel like your partners are manipulating you, or your boss is like dangling a carrot over you, like oh, you want this promotion, do you? And it's like, yeah, I do. Like, give me. But they won't have to prove themselves as much with Uranus in Gemini, and I think like networking will be their best friend. So really, like again, like you just want to promote if you're a Leo and try not to be afraid of the public eye or being on social media. I think it will really help them. um, and it's technology too, so they're just finding faster ways to get themselves known and get their message out there, and it's just going to be rapid fire for their business. Like it's really good. Again, it's a social house, so if you're a Leo, you've got all the opportunity. Just take the chance, from April. Yeah.
And then last but not least is Cancer and their 12th house Uranus transit.
Did we do Cancer? I'll do Cancer.
No,
Hang on.
no, because I've heard,
Okay.
no, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. Sorry. You're like, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Well. I mean, the 12th house is an awakener, so a lot of new spiritual practices. So things like you might decide that it's time to really get in touch with your subconscious, and as a result, I feel like a lot of cancers will get in touch with their spirit team, their angels, and just their awareness of the unseen. So I Uranus there will be their saving grace. Like if they make the wrong decision or the wrong turn, something will show up that they're going to they're in direct communication with, again, like their spirit guides. But they could just from a more practical point, just be aware of there's a new awareness that's coming in for them. And I think that that's really going to shape their identity more. um you know there's a lot of self-realizations with Uranus in Gemini for Cancer, so they could be having a lot of conversations that are pretty heavy and important, but they're kind of in this leadership role. So yeah, it's a deep, deep, deep awakening. And also they're if they felt limited, that's gone. Like all of a sudden they're going to be breaking out of this mindset that has kept them caged. So just if you're a Cancer, just expect the hidden to come to the surface, whether that's from you or the external. But you'll know if you're a Cancer, like you just follow the signs. The angel numbers will be like zipping around them. Yeah.
That's
So
all 12 signs.
wow, we did it.
Yeah. So,
We did it. I did it in a bit of a weird order, but yeah.
no, I mean, that's the order it should be because you're going from like who's getting hit in their first house all the way to their 12th house. I like how we
Oh,
did that because we covered all the houses, then we covered what houses each sign's going to feel this Uranus in Gemini transit for the next 7 years. Um,
mm.
so people should listen to their rising or their sun sign, and correct me if I'm wrong, if they have a stellium or three or more planets in a certain sign, might be beneficial to listen to that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think for your sun, moon, and rising, your rising first, then your sun, and then your moon, because we have derivative houses in astrology. And like essentially, your sun sign is like a first house, wherever your sun is placed. So you kind of need to count from there, and the same with your moon. So you can always resonate with, like, if you see readings, and like if I say, like, if you're a Taurus sun, moon, rising, even if you're not a Taurus rising, you'll still be able to resonate that with at some level with your sun and moon. Derivative houses is a whole nother topic, but like essentially, and yeah, if you have a stellium, absolutely, because like you're going to have so much activity on those planets. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I love how we dive deep into that because that's such a big
Yeah.
theme of the year. along with the
enormous.
retrogrades we discussed a little bit about. Um,
Yeah.
and something that I had a question on was decans or deacons.
Hmm.
So every sign has three decans. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yeah, you
And
are. Yeah.
take like using Pisces as an example, the first 10 degrees is your sign. So if you're a water sign, it's like whatever sign you that is. If you're born within the first 10 degrees, you're definitely a Pisces. The second set, 10 to 20, what comes after Pisces? What water sign? Cancer. Then you're a Cancer. And then third, the last 10 degrees, you have Scorpio influence. So that's an example of how to break down your decans. And you could do the same for every sign.
Yeah,
Um,
that's correct. Yeah, that's right.
now,
So they're all split into three.
how significant are the decans?
Well, they tell a lot. And, you know, so, okay. Um, let's if we look at Aries, so there's three decans in each sign. The first decan is ruled by the natural ruler of that sign. So
Which is
a
Aries.
Mars ruled, yeah. So Mars ruled the first. If you have planets in the first decan of Aries, so 0 to 10, then that's a Mars ruled decan. So that is more of a transformative action, progressive energy. And then if you have anything in the second decan, that's a Leo ruled. That's a sun ruled decan. So it's the next fire sign. So that's more of like happy approach. Like there's more of a light-hearted, kind of funny, joy like energy to that Aries. They might be a bit more of a performer if you have anything between 10 and 20 degrees in Aries. And then the last decan of Aries would be Jupiter. So that would be more of an expansive energy
Like a
and
Sag
more,
influence.
yeah.
That's
So
Aries influenced by
they're
the
more
Sagittarius.
of a traveler, kind of an Aries. So that's basically how it works. And that's why, like, I think there's all that talk. People are like, oh, are you a January Aquarius or a February Aquarius?
Exactly, yeah, because they
With the
people can
decans.
tell the difference, but they don't exactly know why. And it comes down to the decans.
Yeah, that's it. So they are of like massive influence. Um, and Chris Brennan actually is a great astrologer. He dives into the decans and like the history of them. Um, so yeah, that's a good watch. I think you can look that up on YouTube. But basically, the that when they meshed those two houses together, just the houses and the decans, it unlocked a whole nother dimension. And like this eclipse, so um it's pretty hectic. So it's at 12 degrees Pisces. So now sorry, Virgo. So that's the second decan. So and 12 degrees is also, this is another layer. And I know I'm diverting a little bit here, but 12 degrees is also a Pisces degree. So the degrees also have that extra meaning just to,
Make it
help.
more in depth.
Yeah, just make it a bit more. Anyway, the second decan. That would be a Saturn ruled decan. So Virgo, Capricorn.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there is a serious tone to this eclipse. This is an ending, which we know, but there's more of an absolute ending. And then I know I'm diverting again here, but like if we go back to, September of 2025, that solar eclipse Saturn was present for that too. And that was like really serious because Saturn kind of holds that extra weight that people feel like it's just like, okay, well, there's rules and rules
Yeah.
have to be, implemented. So yeah, it's definitely telling and worth looking into.
Interesting. Do you think people should read for their decan, or should they just be aware of it because it's indicative of compatibility and their personality, etc.?
Yeah, like it's absolutely they should. It's 100% worth looking at, like to see what undertone is like actually, manifesting.
But is it
So
worth
what,
reading for?
sorry, say that again.
Is it worth like reading their if the sign of their
Mm,
decan or not really?
Not really. I think it's like it's not gonna make or break you. Like I think like it's better to sort of just reduce the astrology and just really look at, like the aspects are more important. The aspects of everything. Like, well, how is the moon, the eclipse aspecting your planets in your chart? Like, how is this eclipse impacting your sun or moon? Is it harmonious? Is it squaring? Is it trining? Is it sextile? Anything like that's really everything. So, but it's worth looking at. Like I think that if you want a bigger picture,
Now, degree, you said each degree is aligned with a certain sign.
yeah, yeah, that's right. I'll have to pull that up because like
Where could people
um,
discover that information? Because I feel that's very significant for eclipses and moons, because people will think just because something's in your sign, it's going to affect you. But that's not always the case. And it's because of degree points and other layers.
that's correct. Yeah, like there's a lot of books that you can there's a whole heap of books on Amazon about degree and degree theory, but
Is there a
and
site or something
saving
that just breaks down 1 degree is attributed with this sign, 5 degree, this sign, et cetera, et cetera?
yeah, like you can find out on Google pretty much. Like if I was going to recommend any books, I'd definitely recommend Elu Ellen's Complete Book of Astrology. Um, that's just so insightful. Um, and like yeah, that's a really good one. But yeah, like it's and Sabian symbols as well. It's another layer of it, obviously, but your the degree is deep. It's kind of like a signature. So, you know, if you're a Gemini sun or a Pisces sun and you have a Pisces sun at 23 degrees Pisces, the 23rd degree is an Aquarius degree, I believe. So that Pisces has an eccentric style to them, to their core identity.
My son's actually 22 degrees Pisces.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
so you've got a kill or be killed degree.
Oh,
That's a
lovely.
potent degree.
Pretty much is on par with my life, I should say.
I'm so sorry. My
Quite
daughter was born
accurate.
on the
Makes
22nd
sense.
of so yeah, it just means that you're a well-defined magnetic character, and
A 22
you
degrees.
it's very, in my opinion, the 22nd degree is you're very resilient,
That's true. Yeah.
very resilient. Yeah. Um, so just, oh, it's a Capricorn degree. So of course, but Capricorn cannot be killed. um, but also like if you look at all the planets in your chart, um, so your Venus could be in Libra and Venus rules Libra, and that's great. You're like an expert at partnerships and you know how love should be reciprocal. But if it's a Venus 10 degrees, oh, I suppose that's quite, I mean, that wouldn't really be as bad because, okay, 10 degrees is a Capricorn degree. So there's a more seriousness to that Venus in Libra. That Venus Libra person only wants committed relationships. They're actually a really loyal Libra. They're not so flirty.
The cheating Libra. That's a
Yeah.
con.
Yeah,
From my
yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Well, Libras just like they just love, don't they? They're typical lovebirds. And also
Yeah.
they love to just have a lot of relationships and they never really split up with anyone. They're just like, we broke up, but they're still in the break in case of emergency. like,
Yeah. They love
um,
having a side piece, Libras. So if you're with a Libra, You need to choose. Do you want to be the side piece or do you want to be the one that they're committed to in air quotes?
Yeah.
I like
Um,
them though, so I'm not reading, I'm just saying.
well, you've got so much in Gemini. Like you're always gonna love Libra. But yeah, like not that Libra does have the ability to be loyal. Like they do have a Scorpio second house, and that's their core value, you know. Um, but if they exit a relationship, they've always got a strategic plan as well. They're always like, okay, well, how am I gonna like they're fully aware of how that breakup is going to be received, how it's going to look on them. Like they're overthinkers.
This degree theory is so interesting. I almost think we should do
Yeah.
a whole episode on it because I've
You
not
can look.
spoken about that with like any astrologer, really.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah, it's so important. You can look up if you look up degree theory, just type it into Google, you'll see like each degree and what it represents. Um, and it is amazing. Like I prefer looking at degrees than I do looking at decans, to be honest.
Oh, that's
Uh,
what I was gonna say. What do you give more? What do you think has more influence? Decans
I would
describe the
just
personality, but what do you think has more influence in one's like chart and their life and their outcomes, etc.? You think the
Yeah,
degrees?
degrees, definitely. Degrees are so telling. Like I look at degrees first because I'm just like, okay, well, what degree is that at? Oh my God, like there's just so much in it.
Ah,
Like, oh, 0 degrees. Okay, that's the first degree. So that's a very raw, primal degree.
I have it pulled up. So to help everyone out, these are which signs are aligned to each degree, and this will come in handy when there's eclipses, full moons, new moons, whatever transits.
Yeah, just
The-
reading your own chart as well.
reading your own chart as well. So here are the Aries degrees: 1 degree, 13 degree, 25 degree.
Yeah, that's
You can
right.
you can correct me if I'm wrong with any of these.
No, you're
Taurus,
right.
Taurus degrees: 2 degrees, 14 degrees, 26 degrees.
Yep.
Gemini degrees: 3 degrees, 15 degrees, 27 degrees.
Yep.
Cancer, 4 degrees, 16 degrees. That's my Venus. 28 degrees. Leo, 5 degrees, 17 degrees, 29 degrees. That's my midheaven, 29. Leo. Virgo degrees, 6 degrees and 18 degrees.
Yeah, they only got two.
Same with Libra. Same with all the rest. Libra, 7
Mm,
degrees and 19 degrees.
mm.
Scorpio, 8 degrees and 20 degrees. Sagittarius, 9 degrees and 21 degrees. Capricorn, 10 degrees and 22 degrees. Aquarius, 11 degrees and 23 degrees. And finally, Pisces, 12 degrees and 24 degrees. Now, we could
Yeah.
do a whole show on this, which I do want to break down what degree influence it means, et cetera, et cetera. But given that we've spoken a lot today, I would be cool with dedicating that for a separate episode if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'd love to if you want to, if yeah, absolutely. I'd be so keen to come back. There is a pattern to it, as well. So like 1 to 12. So Aries is the first house to 12. And then it goes from 13 to 24. So
Mhm.
Aries starts with 13. Um, yeah, but I would love to dive into that with you, or whenever suits. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Let's plan for that. So this,
Do you want me to look at your chart before
yes,
we wrap up, or yeah?
absolutely. Yeah.